Welcome to Tungal Online Classes. Myself Kasirao. Today I want to discuss the new topic motion in plane. Its weightage is 11 marks. From this, one 5 marks question, one 3 marks question, one 2 marks question, and one 1 mark question. So this is the most weightage topic in the physics. So in this motion in plane, first we will discuss about the subtopic vectors. So which topic first we are going to introduce vectors. In units and dimensions we studied about physical quantities. So what is a physical quantity? How can we define the physical quantity? A quantity which can be measurable, such type of quantities we are saying that a physical quantity. So how can we define the physical quantity? A quantity which is a measurable, such type of quantities we are calling as physical quantities. The physical quantities are mainly classified into two categories. Those are called, one is the scalars, another one is the vectors. All the physical quantities are mainly classified into two categories. Those are called what? One is the scalar quantities, another one is the vector quantity. How can we define a scalar quantity? How can we define a scalar quantity? So scalar is also one of the physical quantity. So the scalar quantity, the physical quantity which has only magnitude, such type of physical quantities are calling as a what? Scalar quantities. Again repeating, physical quantities are mainly classified into two categories. Those are called what? One is the scalar quantities, another one is the what? Vector quantity. How can we define a scalar quantity? The physical quantity which has only the magnitude, such type of physical quantities are calling as a what? Scalar quantities. What are the examples for the scalar quantities? Example, mass is a scalar quantity. Length is a scalar quantity. Time is a scalar quantity. And distance, speed, temperature, etc. All this type of quantities we are calling as a what? Scalar quantity. If we take in the mass, we will measure the quantity of mass only. It has only the magnitude. It does not having any direction. Similarly, length, time, distance, speed and temperature. All these quantities we are calling as a what? Scalar quantities. Next one is a what? Vector. So how can we define a vector quantity? In the case of the scalar, the physical quantity which has only magnitude, such type of quantities we are calling as what? Scalars. But in the case of the vector, the physical quantity which has both magnitude as well as direction, and also they must obey the vector laws of addition. They must obey the vector laws of addition. Then only such type of physical quantities we are calling as the vector quantity. How can we are defining the vector quantity? If a physical quantity which has both magnitude as well as a direction, and also they must obey the vector laws of addition. What are the vector laws of addition? Later on we will discuss. Those are called triangle law of vector addition. Triangle law of vector addition. Another one is what? Parallelogram law of vector addition. So, if any one of the physical quantity will be having about the magnitude and the direction, and if they will be obeying the vector laws of addition, then only we are saying that those physical quantities are the vector quantities. What are the examples for the vector quantities? Example. Already we studied displacement. Displacement is one of the vector quantity. Velocity. Linear momentum and force, torque. That's it. So, what are the examples for the vector quantities? Displacement, already we studied in the last topic, motion in straight line, and also velocity is the vector quantity, linear momentum is the vector quantity, and the force is also vector quantity. So, this is simply differences between the scalar quantities and vector quantity. Next topic, representation of a vector. Representation of a vector. How can we represent a given vector quantity? Any one of the vector quantity will be represented by a directed line segment. Any one of the vector quantity will be represented by what? Directed line segment. What is meant by directed line segment? See here. It is a straight line with an arrow. Will be calling as a what? Directed line segment. So, in this directed line segment, we have to know about the 2 points. One is called capital T, another one is a what? H. So, what T represents? T is nothing but tail of the vector. T is representing what? Tail of the vector. Or it is also representing what? Starting point of the vector. So, T is representing what? Either tail of the vector or starting point of the vector. Next. What is the head? Capital H will be representing. H will be representing the direction of the given vector. H will be representing the direction of the given vector. And here, this portion will be there. This portion will be representing either length of the vector or magnitude of the vector. So, if any one of the physical quantity will be saying as a vector quantity, that a vector quantity will be simply represented with a directed line segment. In this directed line segment, we have to know about 2 points. One is called what? Tail of the vector. Another point is called what? Head of the vector. So, the tail of the vector will be representing the starting point of the given vector, and capital H will be representing the direction of the given vector. And whatever this length will be there, that length will be representing the magnitude of the vector. That length will be representing the magnitude of the vector. Now, for example, if we take 2 vectors, let it be A bar, another one is a B bar. So, here I consider the 2 vectors. The first vector is a vector A bar, another vector is a what? Vector B bar. From these 2 vectors, vector A bar length will be small and the vector B bar length will be large. So, that means the vector B bar will be having the more magnitude when we are comparing with the vector A bar. Simply what we have to understand from this diagram, its length will be giving the magnitude only and this arrow will be giving the direction of the given vector. While we are in writing, how can we draw the vector? How can we represent the vector in the textbook or notes? If any one of the physical quantity will be saying as a vector quantity, that vector quantities are represented with capital letters, that vectors are representing with the capital letters with an arrowhead over it. So while we are writing the vector quantity, how can we write? Any one of the vector quantity will be representing with a capital letter with an arrowhead over it. Suppose force is a vector. Force is a vector. So if it is a vector quantity, means I want to represent the force in the vector form. So it can be represented as F bar. It can be represented as F bar. So here this bar will be giving the direction of the given vector quantity. That bar will be representing what? Direction of the given vector quantity. Suppose while in your writing, if you wrote only F means that F will be giving the magnitude only. If you write F bar, it will be representing the vector quantity. It is a scalar form, it is the vector form. Like this we have to represent any one of the vector quantity. Next topic is position vector and displacement vector. First one is position vector. Position vector. How can we define a position vector? Position vector is a vector which can describing the position of a given particle. Again repeating, how can we define the position vector? Position vector is a vector which can describe the position of a given particle. How can we explain the position vector? So to explain the position vector, first we have to know about unit vectors. What are they? Unit vector. So how can we define the unit vector? A vector whose magnitude is unity or 1. So how can we define the unit vector? A vector whose magnitude will be either unity or 1. Such type of vector is called what? Unit vector. What is the need of the unit vector? What is the purpose of the unit vector? The unit vector can be used to indicate or to represent the direction of a given vector quantity. To indicate the direction of a given vector quantity. So how can we are defining the unit vector? A vector whose magnitude will be unity or 1. Such type of vector is called what? Unit vector. And what is the need of the unit vector? By using the unit vector, we can indicate, we can represent the direction of a given vector quantity. For example, so we consider x-axis. We consider the x-axis. We consider x-axis. This is the origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So along the x-axis, I am assuming that a particle is placed at a distance of 5 units along the x-axis. I consider which axis? X-axis I considered. Over the x-axis, at a distance of 5 units of distance, I consider the point P. In generally, by using the geometry, if anyone asks what is the distance of the P from the origin, simply we say that OP distance is equal to 5 units. Distance OP is equal to 5 units. So which will be giving the magnitude only. which will be giving the magnitude. In geometry, I think we know. So the distance of the particle P from the origin will be is equal to how many units? 5 units. Distance OP is equal to what? 5 units. The same distance OP, if you want to represent in the vector notation, in addition to the magnitude, you need a direction. You need a direction. So, scalar means we are calling as a distance. If you want to write in the vector form, that is nothing but displacement or the position vector we are writing here. Position vector. So, position vector OP bar is equal to, OP means what? A magnitude. When you are writing the arrow over the OP means it is indicating the vector quantity. Again repeating. When you mention the arrow over the given physical quantity, that physical quantity will be representing the vector quantity. OP bar, its the magnitude is equal to how many units? 5 units. So direction, in which direction you are measuring the distance? So the distance of the particle P will be indicating or representing, measuring along the x-axis. So that I will write OP bar is equal to 5 units along the x-axis. Along the x-axis. But in the vector notation, I will write 5 into I cap. 5 into I cap. So what is the I cap here? I cap is a what? Unit vector along the x-axis, which will give the direction of OP, Here we mentioned the distance from O to the P along the x-axis. Whenever any one of the physical quantity will be measured along the x-axis, we are using the unit vector I cap. Suppose we are measuring the distance along the y-axis, we are using what? J cap. Along the z-axis, we are using what? K cap. Later on we will discuss about the unit vectors clearly. So this is what? Position vector, position of the particle P along the x-axis. If it is along the x-axis means you write 5 into I cap. Suppose I consider another particle. This is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, this is the what? Origin. So if another particle will be placed, another particle Q is placed along the y-axis, its position also measured from the origin only. All the distances must be measured from the origin only. So in this case, the distance of Q is OQ is equal to how many units here? 6 units. How many units? 6 units. So this is giving the magnitude only. This is giving what? Magnitude only. I want to represent in the vector notation. So OQ bar. When you are writing the arrow over it means you are representing this distance OQ in the vector form. Its magnitude is equal to how many? How much? 6 units. 6 units along the y-axis. R. OQ bar is equal to 6 into J cap. OQ bar is equal to what? 6 into J cap. Here we write 5 into I cap. 5 into I cap. I cap is a what? Unit vector along the x-axis. Here J cap is representing what? Unit vector along y-axis. Okay. In the first case, you consider the particle will be present along the x-axis. That's why you write OP is equal to 5 into I cap. In the second case, the particle will be present along the y-axis only. That's why you write OQ bar is equal to what? 6 units. That is equal to what? 6 into I cap. Suppose if the given particle will be placed in the xy plane, if the given particle will be placed in the xy plane, then how can we represent its the position vector? Its position vector. Now we will discuss. See here. So here I consider xy plane. I consider xy plane. In the xy plane, I consider a particle P which is placed at a point P having the coordinates x comma y. X comma y. What is the meaning of x comma y? The particle P will be having the magnitude x units along the x-axis, and the particle P will be having the magnitude y units along the y-axis. Now, if it is along only y-axis, you write 6 into j cap. If it is having only along the x-axis, you write 5 into I cap. Now, how can you represent the position vector of a given particle whenever it is placed in the xy plane? So, whatever the vector you are writing, that vector should be starting from the origin and it was ended with the point where you consider. If it is on the y-axis, the vector will be drawn from where to where? Origin to the point Q. If the point P will be along the x-axis, the vector should be drawn from where to where? O to the point P. Here the point P will be in the xy plane. So, the position vector of the given particle P, will be starting from the point O, and ended with the point P. Again repeating. Whenever the particle P will be located in the xy plane, its position vector must be starting from the origin, and it was ended with the point P where the particle was located. In generally, the position vector will be represented by the symbol r bar. In generally, the position vector will be represented by what? R bar. R bar is indicating the position vector. So here, the position vector of the particle P, position vector of the particle P is represented by r bar. So therefore, position vector OP bar is equal to r bar. What? R bar. So which can be written as r bar is equal to x into I cap plus y into j cap. R bar is equal to what? X into I cap plus y into j cap. So this is the representation of a position vector. Again I repeating. Here we consider the particle P will be located in the xy plane. So P of xy point I considered. What x denotes? The particle P will be having x units of the magnitude along the x-axis and y units of the magnitude along the y-axis. So the position vector of the given particle will be represented with what symbol? R bar. Therefore, R bar is equal to, we will write xi plus yj. So this is the position vector of the given particle whenever the particle will be placed in the xy plane. Next concept is displacement vector. So next concept is what? Displacement vector. So before going to the displacement vector, already we know the definition of the displacement. What is the definition of the displacement? The shortest distance between initial position to the final position. Again, the shortest distance between what? Initial position to the final position. Suppose we consider x-axis. We consider x-axis. This is the origin. So initially we assume the particle P is at a distance of x1 from the origin. Initially where the particle will be present? At a distance of x1 units along the x-axis. So initially it is at the point A. Finally the particle will be displaced to the point B. Finally it is displaced to which point? Point B. Initial position of the particle is at A and the final position of the particle is at B. So the final position of the particle will be is equal to what? X2. X1 is indicating the initial distance and x2 is indicating the final distance. How can we represent the displacement? Displacement delta x bar is equal to, displacement vector delta x bar is equal to, we are writing x2 minus x1. x2 minus x1. So whenever the particle will be moving along the x-axis, we know that displacement vector delta x bar is equal to what? x2 minus x1. x2 minus x1. Okay. So if the particle will be moving in the xy plane, if the particle will be moving in the xy plane, at that time how can we represent, how can we indicate the displacement vector of the given particle? So for that, so I consider xy plane. Initially I am assuming that the particle will be at the point P. What I am assuming that I consider xy plane. What I am assuming, initially whatever the particle we are assuming, that a particle will be located at the point P. So whenever any one of the particle will be in the xy plane, to represent its position, we know the position vector. So that the position vector of the particle P will be given by R1 bar. So R1 bar is indicating what? Position vector of the particle whenever it is located at the point P. Whenever it is located at the point P. I am assuming that the particle will be in the motion. What I am assuming that the particle will be in the motion. So whenever any one of the object will be in the motion, it is moving from one place to the another place. I am assuming that the particle will be moving from the point P to point Q. From the point P to the point Q. What is the initial location of the particle? P. Final location of the particle is what? Q. So whenever the particle is at the Q, again we have to represent its position. So the final position vector of the same particle will be represented by R2 bar. Once again, here we consider which plane? XY plane we consider. In the XY plane, I am assuming that one particle will be in the motion. So initially the particle will be presented where? At the point P. So whenever the particle will be at the point P, to explain its position, we are taken one position vector R bar, which will be describing the position vector of the given particle whenever it is at the point P. Now, if the particle will be in the motion, it is displacing from the point P to point Q. Whenever the particle will be at the point Q, its position vector will be given by R2 bar. Here actually what we have to calculate? Displacement vector. So here the displacement vector from P to Q I am taking as delta R bar. Displacement vector from the point P to Q will be taken as a what? Delta R bar. What is the basic definition of the displacement? Displacement delta x is equal to what? x2 minus x1. Displacement delta x is equal to what? x2 minus x1. that is final position minus initial position. Similarly, the displacement vector is equal to final position vector. Displacement vector is equal to what? Final position vector minus initial position vector. Final position vector minus initial position vector. From the diagram, what is the final position vector? R2 bar. What is the initial position vector? R1 bar. So R2 bar is indicating what? A final position vector. R1 bar is indicating what? Initial position vector. So the displacement vector will be represented by delta R bar. So therefore delta R bar is equal to R2 bar minus R1 bar. R2 bar minus R1 bar. So this is simply about position vector and displacement vector. Okay, next.